watching my ex thrive, it's really triggering for me because I walked away with literally having to start over.
I left my husband 5 months ago and I regret it. I know I'm supposed to be in my living my best life hoe era. No, these last 5 months have broken my spirit.
Today we are going to be taking a look at women contemplating their bad decision of divorcing a good guy.
I might be separating from my partner. I also have fallen in love with somebody else while being in love with my partner.
Follow along and enjoy. This video was made for strictly artistic and comedic reasons only. No harm or offense is intended upon anyone featured or shown in this video.
I left my husband 5 months ago and I regret it. No, you're not supposed to say that. I know I'm supposed to be in my living my best life hoe era, whatever, but no. These last 5 months have broken my spirit. They have been the hardest of my life. These last 5 months have required so much work, so much discipline to get back to myself. But it's supposed to suck. I talked to my friend last night about this on the phone and he really put it in perspective for me. Said the year you get a divorce was going to suck regardless. I question my decisions constantly. No matter what choice I made, I would have been miserable regardless. Life is not supposed to be happy and perfect all the time. Most growth comes from the times when we are having to do the work, having to sit in our misery, having to sit in the quiet. And that is exactly what I'm doing. 31 and I feel like I'm 18 again trying to navigate the world. Because you know what I regret more than leaving my husband? It having to get to that point anyway. I regret marrying the wrong person in the first place and not listening to my intuition. For my mistake.
I mean, I honestly don't understand why people normalize the so-called hoe era. It's disgusting.
Watching my ex thrive, it's really triggering for me because I walked away with literally having to start over after 12 years of starting over, of wondering if I'm going to be able to keep a roof over my head with my boys and not being able to just go out and play in our backyard like we used to. And wondering if I'm going to be able to feed them.
Yeah, me personally, I want to thrive as much as this dude is thriving. Because imagine being so successful in life that your ex feels bothered about it.
I might be separating from my partner. I also have fallen in love with somebody else while being in love with my partner. The reason that we might be separating is because I've discovered that I am polyamorous and my partner might not be. We have been in an ethically non-monogamous relationship for the last year. We both have been exploring our sexuality, and I won't speak on his behalf, but for me, I realized that I am not interested in randomly hooking up with people and then that being it. I'm not interested in having like a friends with benefits. I discovered that I'm interested in connecting with people in a romantic way. Perhaps is as another partner, but as a separate partner, or even as a kind of non-labeled situation where there is love and there is connection, and not necessarily an involvement in my everyday life, but the access to that love and the possibility of that love and the presence of that love is there. This is something that my partner and I are working through right now. I don't know which way it's going to go. I don't know how it's going to end. He is fully aware of what is happening. We're having conversations about it. We've been going to a marriage counselor, psychologist for a while. What ultimately comes down to is that you can't force somebody to be polyamorous. You can't force somebody to be non-monogamous. It's just a part of who you are. Well, I got with him when I was 18 and he was 25. The age discrepancy there means that as I get older, I'm going to go through changes, which he's been a wonderful supporter of. He's been a great supporter of my career as an entrepreneur, as an artist, as somebody who's more than just a mother, to have my own friends, my own life. And in many, many ways, he's the partner that people would wish for. He is the partner that I would wish for and that I do want to keep. I don't want to lose him as a partner. Ultimately, it comes down to, as I've gotten older, I'm going to be 29 next month, I have discovered this part of myself and it almost feels like a non-negotiable to be who I am.
This is so wrong in many ways I can't even come up with a comment on it. Just impressive.
So recently I caught up with an old friend and she was telling me that she got divorced, and I was so surprised because her and her husband were such a cute couple and they had been together for 11 years. So I asked her, like, what happened? I figured something bad happened. She's like, honestly, I was just bored. Like, my husband, all he did was work. I was a stay-at-home mom. We had 3 kids and I just got lonely and bored. And she says that when she would bring it up, like, he would take her out, but it was just boring to her. Like, she needed some excitement in her life. She just felt like she was just a mom and a wife, and her husband just wasn't doing that for her. And she had other friends that had, you know, boyfriends, or like they had just got married, and they were always going out, always going on vacation, always partying, like going to the club, going to the bar, hanging out with friends, and they did none of that. And when she would bring it up to her husband would always tell her, like, I gotta work. Like, you know, they had a big house, they had nice things. Like, he was just trying to work. So they ended up getting divorced. And now, you know, she's single, she lives alone, she's working, and she's dating. So then I told her, oh, well, that must be exciting, like dating and stuff. And she's like, no, I hate it. And I was like, why? And she's like, because all they want to do is just have fun. They just want to go to the club. They just want to go to the bar. They just want to hang out, have a good time, and then that's it. She said no one wants to help me out. Like, I'm trying to find someone that's going to help take care of my kids. She's like, I just want someone to be a provider, not just a good time. So I was all like, well, wasn't that what your husband was doing?
Hold on, let me get this straight. She left a hard-working, loving, and caring man for excitement and parties, but when she got that, she wanted to go back? Yeah, sounds like her ex-husband dodged a bullet.
I don't know if I'm going to actually post this because this is super vulnerable for me and I'm a pretty open person. But earlier this year, I told my husband I wanted a divorce. And this would probably shock a lot of my friends and my family because I hadn't told anybody, okay? I walked myself through the logistics of where would I live, how would we split the time with the kids, had a full breakdown. I feel like I have been searching for something in my relationship that we don't have for the whole time we've been married, which has been 10 years. There is not a single thing about my husband in and of himself that I do not love. He is the most self-disciplined, loyal, hardworking, good person that you could meet on this planet. And that is probably the reason why I have not left, okay? Our relationship and what my expectations are for my marriage and what they always have been are not met, right? Which I don't know if anybody's are. The reason that pushed me to even bring up divorce and talk about it was the fact that I feel like I can't be myself with my husband. And it's really confusing because I'm 32 years old. I am a mom of 3 and I still don't know who I am.
Yeah, it doesn't seem very fair to dismantle a family because you don't know who you are. It actually sounds kind of selfish on your end.
Dating after divorce is the most complicated thing ever. There's talking stages, there's dating stages, there's situationships. What is all of this? First of all, I don't know how to not be a wife. I want to cook for you. I want to clean for you. I want to check in on you. I want to call you all the time because you're my man, but not my man. And I also want to go batshit crazy. And I can't because you're my man, but like not my man. It's so hard.
Yeah, I bet you want to go back to the comfortable life with your ex instead of having to go through all this stuff.
I was a selfish in my marriage. I've been divorced now almost 4 years, but I was married to my ex-husband 16 years and with him 18 years. And again, I was a selfish. Nothing was ever good enough. I took him for granted. He seriously rolled out the red carpet for me. He was sweet, kind, generous. He told me how much he loved me 5 times a day. He told me how beautiful I was every day. If he'd wake me up in the morning, because he knows I love massages, wake me up rubbing my shoulders. He'd rub my feet every evening while we were watching TV. If I said, for example, oh, I'm craving a Dr. Pepper, he'd be like, okay, let me go to the corner store and get it. He adored me. He was amazing. Like on paper, it's what every girl wants. Seriously. And yeah, I took it for granted. And now I lost that, right? And I carried a lot of guilt because I caused it. That's my biggest regret in life, is not saving, the whole family aspect. The grass is not always greener on the other side, ladies. It's not. I'm good now. I feel great. And he's super happy with his girlfriend. And honestly, I could not be happier for him because he deserved to be loved and cared about and respected as he should have always been. So I'm so happy that he's happy. Anyways, what I'm saying, ladies, the grass is not greener on the other side. If you have a good guy, take care of him. Take care of him. Trust me, there's nothing good out in these streets. He seriously set the bar. He set the bar. And ultimately, what I always wanted, I had all along. So we have good right in front of us and we don't know how to take care of it.
Well, at least she has the courage to admit it. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this one.
I left the man that I loved for the man that I deserve. I was in a relationship for 10 years and decided to leave that relationship because he was no longer the man of my dreams. He was a good boyfriend and he never cheated on me, and we were good to each other, but when it came to alignment and what I deserved and what I wanted and saw for myself and my future kids, I wanted to give my kids the best possible father I could, as well as like the best possible life I could give them, and love is not enough for that. So I left.
That's the problem with relationships nowadays. People raise their value and think they deserve some special mythic person, when in reality, the love of their life might be right in front of them.
I'm 37. He'll be 55 in March. And I married an older man thinking that he was ready for marriage, to settle down, that he was ready to have kids, and that he was done being like the boys my age were. I was 24 when we met. But you can't change people. And for the first time in 13 years, day 4, where I've had no surveillance over him. I don't know where he is, or what he's doing, or who he's with, or who he's texting, or what he's searching for, or what he's putting in his notes or his calendar. And for the first time in 13 years, I'm feeling like I can breathe again.
I bet he is the one who thinks he can finally breathe again. It looks like you made it to the end of the video. If you enjoyed watching, like, subscribe, and check out a few other videos or our shorts. Bye.